So I'm Claire, I'm an accredited practicing dietitian and project officer at Diabetes SA.
And I'm Danielle Clark, I'm Health Promotion Officer at Diabetes SA. So today we're just going to be making two really simple, quick recipes for you to try at home. Just goes to show that you can actually get more healthy foods in your day that don't take much time at all. And these are really high in fibre.
Yeah, so we're building on from the topics that our guest speakers have spoken to us about today and showing you maybe some ways that you can increase not only your fibre intake, but I think this first one might help with increasing our resistant starch intake as well. We've gone through today the benefits of fibre in our digestion and all the other health benefits that it does have. And what we do know is that there is no diabetes diet as such. We really promote those healthy eating principles as we would for someone who's not living with diabetes.
Absolutely, and so we talk about the 5 different food groups, and so obviously lots and lots of vegetables. We want to encourage you to have fruit, dairy, lean meats and alternatives, and those whole grains. So that's what we recommend as those everyday kind of foods, and those are the healthy foods that contain lots of vitamins, minerals, lots of fibre to help keep us feeling well and keeping us full.
So first up, we've got our burrito jar, and we've got all the recipes on your chairs as well. So we'll have 2 jars and we'll maybe do one each.
Yeah. So just any type of jar that you've got at home. This just makes a really simple portable snack. So we've got 2 different types, or a nice lunch as well. So any type of jam jar at home, you can take it wherever you go.
Yeah, so first up we've got our black beans. So we put a few scoops of black beans, and these we've just drained them, rinsed off some of that salty solution. Oops, I'm going to drop beans everywhere I think.
So as Glenn was saying before, there's nothing wrong with canned legumes. We just like to rinse them off. Sometimes they have some added salt, sometimes they have no added salt, but it's still a good idea just to rinse them off. Canned legumes are super quick and delicious, ready for you in the cupboard. Take no time at all to prepare, comparing to say, you're having to soak them overnight and then having to cook them as well. So they're just a really great alternative.
Yeah. So beans go in, and then the next one, we've got some quinoa here, so cooked quinoa, and it's cooled, so it would be high in that resistant starch, but you could substitute this for your rice, cook and cool the rice as well, or if you've got any left over from the night before, and I'll try and do this, neatly. Cooking's only fun if it's messy, right?
You don't need to be, yeah, that's right. So I like quinoa. It's really high in protein, so it's really good at filling you up, as well as low GI carbohydrate, so it's that slow release of carbohydrate into your bloodstream. So very, very good addition to this dish because it will fill you up.
And next we'll go in with some tomatoes, so just chopped cherry tomatoes, and they're in season at the moment, if anyone's got some space in their garden, growing your own is fantastic.
In abundance at the moment, it's great. I bring some tomatoes to work for some snacks, just really, really yummy.
So you can just chop those in half. Lots of different colours as well, so this is quite a colourful dish.
Absolutely.
And we know that the more different colours we can put into our plate and into our meals,
the better.
The better the vitamins that we're going to get. I was worried about that. I was going to cut myself.
Lovely.
Okay.
I'll take those.
So the next thing that we've got is our corn.
Now, a really good tip with corn, you can leave it like this and pop it in the microwave with the skin on for about 3 minutes on high, and it will come out perfect. Really, really nice. But today, you can use it raw, more than fine. You just make sure you just peel the leaves. And we're going to be using about half a cup. And this is the yellow corn, not the black corn.
Multicoloured variety.
Does take a bit of a while to chop. Maybe you can do some of that.
Yeah, I might let you do that. Got a bit of a
lot of layers in corn.
So, and we don't have samples for everyone to try, unfortunately, but you can make it at home really easily.
Absolutely.
We just
super quick.
Dice our onion. Hopefully my eyes don't water.
So just going to trim these off. And these will probably go everywhere, but that's all right. No one will be eating this today. And once again, when it comes to vegetables, we try to encourage everyone to have around 5 different serves of vegetables a day, as what Glenn was saying before. And that was, thank you, you know, half a cup of cooked vegetables, or I like to use my hand. So 1 handful of cooked vegetables would be 1 serve or half a cup, or 2 hands would be 1 cup of raw. And so we want 5 serves of those a day. So it'd be 5 of those double handfuls, or 2.5 of those every day.
Got our corn in, and then we can put a bit of onion in.
Lovely.
Lots of flavour.
I like to use my eyes when I'm cooking. The more colour, the better. Just going a bit messy.
Oops. Won't use that bit of lime. A bit clumsy today.
Turn into one of those comedy shows. Okay.
And put some onion in.
Some
there.
onion, and then we've got some avocado. Now, does everyone know how to choose a ripe avocado? Yeah? How do you choose a ripe avocado? I like to go by the colour of the avocado, but instead of squeezing the sides, you're better off actually just pressing around the nose or where it hung from the tree. Because if you squeeze the sides, you can actually bruise it. So I like to just, you know, just press around the top, and generally the darker the avocado, the more ripe it is. But a lot of people go, you know, I always have my avocado sitting there for ages and ages, and then it's not ripe, and then all of a sudden it's too ripe and it's black. So we're just going to halve it today. And avocado is so good for us. It's full of those healthy fats. It's a good source of folate and some vitamins and minerals. But it is still fat, so we'd only really want to encourage about 1/4 a day, or depending on the size of the avocado, maybe up to 1/2. And a really good tip with this avocado, so we're doing 1/2 today, is just, I like to score it on the inside. Just being careful not to cut myself. And so this one's beautiful. It's a bit underripe, but that's okay. And then normally when it's a bit softer, you can just squeeze it out and it comes out nicely. So we're just cubing that and popping that in. But this one's a little bit underripe.
That's all right.
So, and then we've got some coriander.
So we might put some avocado on there, then some coriander in the jar.
Delicious.
And when you pour this out, we'll finish it off with a squeeze of lime as well, which I might do on here so I don't spray everyone in the front row. So squeeze of lime, and then when you pour that out or eat it from the jar, when you get to work, all that lime will have worked its way through to really dress,
I like to shake mine up a
the
bit.
jar.
And, you know, instead of having lots of sauces and things like that, you know, a lot of sauces these days contain quite a lot of salt and maybe added sugar or even sometimes added fat. You know, herbs make a really good addition, you know, flavour addition to any kind of meal. So coriander is great in that regard.
And the lime, lots of acid also helps slow the digestive process down as well. So that will help, you know, keep us fuller for longer, slow the breakdown of the carbohydrate in there into glucose.
Absolutely.
So it keeps it a bit lowers the glycemic index or GI. Yeah. So there you have it.
Pretty much
we
all
can
done.
just screw that lid on and pretty much ready to go. Lunch in a jar. And it'll keep you really full.
Absolutely.
You could add some protein, so maybe some shredded chicken from the night before, or turkey, or a tin of tuna to that.
Absolutely.
Would help bulk up the protein content, but also really great as a vegetarian option as well.
It's actually vegan as well, so you, by all means, adapt it to how you like. But that punch of lime and the coriander is just really delicious. We actually did a demonstration last week for Healthy Weight Week for all staff. And we made a big batch of it for all staff to try, and yeah, it's just really, really tasty. Really, really inexpensive, nice, portable meal.
Beautiful.
So that's our burrito bowl, or burrito jar. And the next one we've got the Italian noodle jar, which is personally my favourite. Packed full of flavour. And so some very simple ingredients. So we've got some garlic. So we've just got minced garlic, fresh garlic today rather, and just to squash it so it can come out of the skin a bit more. And then if you watch Jamie Oliver, he just pops it straight in with the skin on, but I'll take the skin off. And then you're just popping it into this one. And this one just makes one jar, this recipe.
We've got some garlic.
Ooh, here's my hair tie. lots of garlic. That was pretty big clove.
Pretty generous.
But if you're like me, more garlic the better.
And then we'll put in some spring onions, bit of crunch, bit of colour.
Absolutely delicious. So today we've also got some kidney beans. So, going on all the legumes, you could use any legumes that you like. I like using the 4 or 5 bean mix, do whatever you like. Lentils, they're just a really good way of adding more protein. So we've got some kidney beans. Now we've got quite a good little contraption here that's going to turn this carrot into some noodles. So, and I've also got my cutter as well for the zucchini. So we're going to make some noodles out of vegetables. So
Hopefully
you don't
this
always have to have.
Right.
You don't always have to have pasta, or you don't have to have as much pasta. You can use one of these inexpensive cutters that you can get from any food store, really. Homewares store, and it turns it into pasta.
So,
Whereas Claire's got a bit of a nifty contraption that's a little bit different. But yeah, so you can see it makes quite good pasta.
it will spiralise eventually. It's coming out the other side.
And we're just using half a carrot and half a zucchini for this recipe.
So there we go. So out come your spirals of carrot, and if it was a nice big carrot, it would get much longer spirals. Oh, there we go.
And instead of having carrot and zucchini, you could have maybe some vermicelli noodles if you wanted some more carbohydrate in that.
Or make it a bit Asian style.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of soy sauce for some
Absolutely.
flavour.
So-
More of that lime.
It kind of really does look like pasta, doesn't it? So I like to put this, if I'm making maybe a spaghetti bolognese, you could pop that towards the end of when you're cooking the pasta, just maybe a minute. And it's just another nice, nifty way of getting some more serves of vegetables into your day. So just pack that in a bit more.
Okay. Then we've got some olives.
So we've got 4 olives today. Generally, try to choose the olives that still have the pip in there, or the seeds still in there.
Yes.
And I like to just pop them, you squeeze
Can we
them.
do that?
Yeah, you just kind of squeeze them a
I'll
little
add
bit,
some
and so the
roasted capsicum.
seed comes out much easier. We're only having 4 olives today because generally they are really salty, and you don't need that many to add that flavour. So you just literally just squash them into the board, and the pip just comes out really, really easy. Do you want to just maybe chop those and I'll squash them? Really, really yummy. So this could even make a really nice pasta sauce that you actually make warm as well. So roast capsicum as well adds a nice hit of flavour. And then we've just got some regular passata. My hands are a bit wet.
Yeah.
You've got dry hands? Yeah. That's why I've got an apron, so I don't wipe it on my clothes. So passata is a really good base to add to make any pasta sauce generally. It's just try to choose the one that's predominantly all just tomatoes, no added salt, or sometimes they add sugar as well. And literally it's just 1/3 of a cup, which is here. But really you could just, have a little
Pour
bit
a little bit in.
A little bit in. Lovely. I think I got a bit carried away on the zucchini noodles, so
Then we can finish off with maybe a sprinkle of some dried herbs, bit of oregano today.
So
But you
once
can
again,
get your mixed
pack of
Italian
colour.
herbs.
Yep, and then we've got some pepper, some freshly ground pepper, another way to add some extra flavour into your day.
And then some basil leaves,
fresh
which
basil.
you could chop up nice and fine, or you can just poke in and use as a bit of a lettuce leaf almost. Pop a few
And
of
once
those
again,
in.
those herbs full of flavour. And then we finish off with some Parmesan cheese. Generally, choose Parmesan because you use less of Parmesan cheese
Nice
because
strong
it's quite a
flavour.
strong. Yeah.
It's got, what are the butyrates that Trevor was talking about in Parmesan
There you go.
cheese? So
There
you
you
can
go.
include some of those into your diet.
Generally, if you're having a pasta meal and you had cheddar cheese on top, or maybe a lighter tasting cheese, you generally easily add heaps and heaps on instead of maybe Parmesan. It's quite a strong flavoured cheese, so you don't need as much. And so that's that one done as well. So that those 2 recipes did not take long at all. And what I like to do with this one is I like to add a little bit of boiling water just before I'm about to eat it, and you just leave it for maybe 2-3 minutes, and then you just shake it up, and it turns into a nice little soup, and it kind of cooks those vegetable noodles just a little bit, so it adds really nice Really nice. And then you've got the garlic down the bottom, so it's not as raw anymore as well. So thank you.
A couple of delicious, healthy
enjoyed
veggies.
those. So once again, we hope you enjoyed today's seminar. Hope you will take home those recipes and try them at home yourselves. And once again, please complete your evaluation forms. We'd really appreciate it. And have a lovely day. Thank you.